Hi everyone, I'm Judgement and welcome to review of Symbolic, the 6th-year record by the band Death. This year we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of the record, so I decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. My story with this band Death is quite simple. My siblings were massive fans of Judgement and Death back in the 90s, so when I was born like years later, they would play me their music. I actually remember seeing the cassette tape of Symbolic. I have a vivid memory like jamming to Symbolic and The Sound of Perseverance in my sister's room. My favorite record, for your information, is The Sound of Perseverance. When it comes to Symbolic, this one is interesting for many reasons. First, let's talk about the beautiful one-of-a-kind cover art. Look at it. It's hard to put into words. Next, let's talk about the fact that the record was produced by Jim Morris and Chuck Schuldiner. We also have the label Roadrunner, who sadly only had a contract for one record with Death. After that they had to sign with Nuclear Blast. What is quite sad to me is that Roadrunner did not believe in Symbolic, like they didn't promote it almost at all. They didn't give Chuck any budget for a music video. Back then in the 90s, for your album to succeed, you had to have at least one music video. Look at Korn's first record from 1994. There are 4 music videos there. We have Blind, Chutes and Ladders, Clown, and the F song. 4 songs had music videos. Because of that, the record sold more and the band was in a better state. So having a band like Death on your label and not give them even a one music video, to me it's a crime. I cannot understand it. Shame on you, Roadrunner. Like, what the hell were you doing at the time? When it comes to the lineup here, we've got, of course, Chuck Schuldiner on the guitars, vocals, bass. He writes all of those songs musically and lyrically. And we have some new members here. We've got Bobby on the guitars, Kelly on the bass, and Gene Huggan on the drums. This is his second and last release with the band. The production is titled was handled by Jim Morris and Chuck Schuldiner himself. It's crisp, it's clean but heavy, no loudness or no clipping, just the way I like it. It still holds up after 30 years. There's a remaster from 2008 and it slightly adds more clarity and punch to the mix, so you can check it out. To me, the original and the remaster, they're both quite good and I have nothing bad to say about both of those releases. Message is diverse. Symbolic is about you aging, becoming older, and seeing how better and more carefree life was when you were younger. Zero Tolerance is about religion. Empty Words is about being hurt by someone who lied to you. Sacred Serenity is about animals, how they don't have that knowledge in them that someday they will die and every moment with them is precious. 1000 Eyes is about government surveillance, how they want to control what you are doing, to know everything about you. Crystal Mountain, which is about some religious fanatics who live in a bubble and that's where evil takes its form. Misanthrope, it's about aliens looking down on Earth and thinking how our species is not good. And Perennial Quest is about search for happiness. Those are all lyrical meanings here. I urge you to read the lyrics by yourself and you can interpret them however you like, because they have more than one meaning. Now let's move on to structure. It's between advanced and technical. Usually every song here has an intro, verse, pre-chorus and chorus. All of those segments appear twice in the song, at the beginning, and then Chuck brings almost everything back right at the end. He fills up the space in between with segments that only occur once. We have at least 2 guitar solos every song, we have bridges, lots of variations and interesting bits and pieces here and there. Now let's move on to the music genre. This is a technical death metal release. You can maybe even call it progressive death metal. My take on this is simple. When it comes to death releases from the 90s, so Human, Individual Thought Patterns, Symbolic and The Sound of Perseverance, that was death metal with a soul, with emotions, with lots of melodies, and I don't see a lot of musicians nowadays trying to take inspiration from this, especially when it comes to the guitar melodies. It's like most of the bands only care about playing the fastest and the heaviest and using music theory to craft those very intricate melodies, but they lack any meaning and soul, something that is present on this release. Now let's move on to the performance on this album. Let's start with the drummer Gene Huglen. He's straight up killing it. His precision, his double bass work, his tempo, the groove, the style, everything that he's doing here is just straight up amazing. He's one of the best drummers currently alive. Next, let's talk about the bass work. The bass is audible. The bassist mostly does whatever he wants to. He enriches the sounds of the guitars because he doesn't play the same thing, and there are some segments here and there where the bass is the main hero, so to speak. Like, he's doing some bass solos, boing boing boing, some melodies that only happen on the bass, and that's quite great. It's something that's, to me, actually a little bit lacking in the death metal genre nowadays, where you can't hear the bass that much, or he only copies what the guitars are doing. Here, the bassist is actually playing something special. Now let's focus on the guitar work, which is superb. It's full of emotions, intensity. The guitar solos are memorable, they're one of a kind. Most of the guitar riffs here remind me of ancient Egypt for some reason. I don't know if that's what you call in music theory, a Egyptian scale, whatever. I don't see many musicians nowadays do that. I sometimes do it because I do love those melodies. They just sound so fun to listen to. It's something that you want to just play on repeat, something that you want to have in your head, in the back of your mind all the time. So the guitar riffs are crunchy, heavy, but also melodic, soulful. I also enjoy some of the heavier moments on this release, like in the song Misanthrope, where we have those guitar melodies. Great stuff. All in all, the guitar work is for me the main character of this release, because you're going to be listening to those solos and the melodies, and they're going to stay in your head forever. Last but not least, let's mention the vocals. Chuck is straight up killing it. He's mostly screaming here. He's slightly higher than usual. On the previous releases he was like in the mid-range, and on the first two albums I think he was growling like very low. Here I do enjoy the screaming. It's on point. You can easily hear every single word that Chuck is saying, like you can understand it without any problems, so that's a big plus. Now let's move on to the individual songs. The album opens up with the title song Symbolic. This one is a classic. When I first bought my guitar, there were 5 songs that I've had to learn as I was practicing to become a guitarist, and one of those songs was actually Death Symbolic. I couldn't play it at the time at the same speed that it's here, so I was practicing it every day, and I just love that main guitar. And then the fast part, and the chorus, and then we have that break. I love every single section of this song. It's memorable, it's a classic. This should have had a music video. The vocals slap, the meaning is very relatable when it comes to lyrics. The guitar solos, straight out of this world. This is a classic song, one of the best tracks I've ever heard. You have to listen to this one if you haven't heard it before, but I'm sure you did because you're watching this video. 11 plus out of 10, zero tolerance. This one I enjoyed the drum intro. Great song, but I feel that it's not on the same level as the previous one. It's still perfect, don't get me wrong. I love every single section, love the lyrics yet again, the vocals, the melodies, the solos, the middle part. I'm always going to listen through it. I just feel like in the context of this release, it's not the best song, but to me, it's still fantastic. 10 plus out of 10. Empty Words. I love the more introspective intro. Those very cool sounding melodies. The middle part of the song, the melodies there just sound eternal. It's so fun to listen to. The chorus slaps, every guitar solo. Yeah, this entire song from beginning to the end is a classic. I have nothing but to say about it. 11 out of 10. Also, I forgot to mention that I love especially the part where Chuck is screaming empty words, because you can feel anguish and pain in his voice. Moving on to Sacred, Serenity, the song about animals. I love the more melodic approach to this one. The middle part, the somber moments, those more heavier ones. Yet again, every single section here slaps. It's not my favorite here, obviously. because there are better songs here, but this one still stands on its own and it's a good time. 10 plus out of 10. 1000 Eyes, I love the heavier moments here, the fast guitars, that stuff is just fantastic. I love those heavier, faster moments. All in all, this is a classic song, you should listen to it. I feel like it's slightly underrated, it should be talked about more. 11 out of 10. Without Judgement, another fantastic banger. I love every single section here, especially that more melodic middle part, like do-do-do-doom, 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 do-do-do-doom. I'm lost at words here. 11 out of 10. Guess what's not underrated? Crystal Mountain. This is a song that everyone loves. It's what everyone is talking about always in the context of this release. I feel like it should have been a single with a music video because it has that quality of a single to it. It's more simpler, I would say, compared to the previous songs, but it still goes hard. I love the somber parts mixed with those heavier ones. Inside Crystal Mountain, evil takes its form. Do 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 do. Love that stuff. Also, the acoustic outro is great. I've heard it performed live by my all-time favorite band, Decrepit Birth, back in 2013. I think they closed their set with Crystal Mountain. And if you know Decrepit Birth, their records Diminishing Between Wars and Polarity, then you know that they were very inspired by Symbolic and the Sound of Perseverance, so go check those records out. Crystal Mountain is a classic. What else could you say about it? 11 plus out of 10. Misanthrope. This is my favorite song on this album. I just love the intro alone. It's so heavy but melodic at the same time. The drumming is phenomenal for the entire record. I always forget to mention it. Gene is a machine on every song here, like on 1000 Eyes, Without Judgement, and here on Misanthrope. He's just... He has that feeling to his playing. And what I love about this one is how we have that heavier breaky moment, I would say. I love those guitar riffs. Then you have the beautiful guitar solos in the middle. This song is the one I love the most from this album, and I always want to hear it. After I'm done recording this review, I'm going to listen to it because I just love it. This is the song that aliens are watching the earth and they're like, where? Humanity, where? 11 plus out of 10. Perennial Quest, the final song on this fantastic album. Many people adore this song. For me, I'm sorry guys, but this is my least favorite one. It's a little bit too long for me, like over 8 minutes long, and while I enjoy every segment and I still consider this a masterpiece, like I'm never going to skip this song, but I just feel it deep inside me that this is the one I love the least. I don't know how to explain it. Like if you're a parent, you always have a child that you love less than the others. That's like Perennial Quest for me, but I still love it a lot. I love every single section here, the guitar riffs drumming the solos, and especially the acoustic outro. It's the best part of the song for me because it's so somber, melodic, and it sounds so nostalgic. But what do I have the nostalgia for? Existence? Probably. It's beautiful. 10 plus out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable, the flow is ideal, repairability, yeah, this is a timeless album. I adore it from beginning to the end. It doesn't have any weak songs. Every single track here is a masterpiece. It has its own identity. Every guitar solo on this release, it's special. It's one of a kind. It's something I want to hear over and over again. I've heard this record probably a few thousand times since 2000, 2001, and it still sounds fresh and fun to me. It breaks my heart that many death metal bands are not inspired by Symbolic and the Sound of Perseverance. The only band that I can hear that they love Death, Symbolic and the Sound of Perseverance is my all-time favorite band, Decrepit Birth, because on their Diminishing Between Words and Polarity records, they just take Symbolic and they make it faster and add more into it. So that's something I wanted to hear from other death metal bands, and I feel like almost no one cares, which is quite sad to me. Symbolic is just a symbolic victory. It was supposed to be the last Death album. I'm glad it wasn't, because we got the Sound of Perseverance, which is slightly better, but if they would end their career on Symbolic, it still would have been also their best record, because this is their second best effort. I just love every single thing about it. The highlights for me are Misanthrope, Crystal Mountain, Symbolic, Without Judgement, 1000 Eyes, Empty Words, Sacred Serenity, Zero Tolerance, and Perennial Quest. So every song here, you need to listen to this one right now. So that's all from me. If you enjoyed this review, give it a like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram, links in the description. You can actually see my copy of Death Symbolic on my Instagram page. It's still unsealed. I just never had like heart to open it. I don't want to open it because it matters so much to me. I wanted to just be there. Also, shout out to all my Patreon supporters who recently sponsored these videos. You're all truly wonderful. You can join them if you like. If you join my Patreon, I can make you an album review, a Doom MIDI cover, or a lyric video. Anything you'd like. Rest in peace, Chuck. You legend. Bye.